One of my favorite things about kids is their sense of wonder, and that's attached to their sense of discovery, in the sense that there are so many things that they are discovering and that they can still be surprised and they can still have wonder and awe at the world and things feel magical. One of the things that I love about World Vision is, number one, its span. It has a huge span all over the world. It's in over 100 countries, many of which are some of the poorest economies in the world. What they are then able to do with so little is so much they are able to do. I also think, you know, they've been around for a while, so they have a lot of experience in what it is to give and what it is to help and what it is to be generous. They've been around for 67 years, and I think that's a wonderful track record and history to pull from, a deep well of knowledge. For me, the fact that the Christmas tradition centers around the hope of a child, the hope that birth symbolized to me is so beautiful and so special. I think that for all of us, when we look at our children and when we look at younger generations, that is where our hope lies, is in these children. And we are all responsible to each other and for each other. And so the better we can make that for each other, the more we can lessen each other's burdens. From my own history, from my own life, from my own music, sort of the vision that I share and that of World Vision are supremely aligned.
Hello, so
Welcome.
happy to be here.
So happy to have you. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us and taking some time
on this
today.
Giving Tuesday.
On this day of days,
Which
Giving
is such a
Tuesday. I want to
wonderful
get into
day.
that. I want to talk about Giving Tuesday. I want to get
Yes.
into World Vision. Before we get to any of that, though, just tell me, how are you? How's Jennifer?
You know what? I am fantastic. I'm slightly sleep deprived. I'm prepping for the road. Overall, I cannot complain.
Yeah.
And if I could, nobody want to hear it.
We would listen. We would listen. So, prepping for the road. Big tour coming up. You're
Big
kicking
tour
off
coming
tomorrow
up.
night?
Holiday tour starting tomorrow night.
Very exciting. You're obviously,
Very exciting.
aside from sleep deprivation, very exciting time, right?
It is an exciting time. It's the holidays. It's my son's birthday coming up.
Oh, wow.
It's a holiday tour. It is, new music. It's, anything and everything.
Is there a different vibe for you? You've done a bunch of tours now in your lifetime. You got a lot of tours under your belt. Is there a different vibe with the holiday tour amongst the crew, amongst everybody, amongst what you're out there doing? Is it a different feeling?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's just because the holidays, they come around once a year. Yeah. It's the only time, I mean, sure, we can listen to holiday music anytime we want to, but really, we don't. We just listen one time a year. So it feels special, and it also feels like ritual, you know, that we mark these special moments and that we have its own special music. It's so much fun. And people dress up, and I get to dress up, and it's very fun.
Amazing. So do you have, can you tell us any like fun little surprises maybe that like tease something that you're cooking up for the tour this year maybe?
For the tour. You know, well, I'm doing a few symphony shows, which is really fantastic and sort of really what hooked me into wanting to do this whole holiday tour. I mean, I put out a Christmas record last year, and I did maybe 3 shows, and one of them was a symphony show, and I loved it so much that I looked at my manager and said, "Could we please do a tour, you know, of all the holiday music?"
Was that your first time ever experiencing a symphony show?
With my own music,
with
yes.
your own music?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've played with them, you know, in different performances before, orchestras, symphonies behind me, but I was singing other people's music. So for this to be, some of it to be my own was fantastic.
My God, can you describe that feeling the first time you heard it, when you heard a symphony bring your song to life like that?
You know what, it to me as a musician, it's so awe-inspiring because as a songwriter, you write these songs and I write very simply, you know, with just an instrument and a vocal, right? And so when you hear these songs arranged and really just built out with all these fine musicians playing on it and how thick and beautiful and lush the sound is, you think, whoa, that's my song, that's crazy.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, you got the tour coming up, you're in full prep mode. Today's the day of giving. but I have to ask my obligatory. We'll get it out early.
Get it.
Sugarland, what's going on?
Yes!
What can you tell us? What can you say?
Well, that was yes, thank you. Well, when I
Wouldn't be doing my job
mentioned
if I
you would
didn't.
not be doing your job as a journalist. No. So can I call you a journalist? Because
I will accept that happily.
Okay, good. Because some
'Cause I
people
believe-
nowadays are like, don't insult me. I'm
I'm
like,
pretty
no.
sure my mom's watching, and so that's a pretty big chip on my
Yes.
shoulder.
Okay.
I'm a journalist now.
See, Mom?
See that? Guys,
Paid off all these years.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah. So when I was alluding to earlier to new music, that's part of that. And Christian and I have been together writing new music and just recently made the announcement that we're going to be making new music together. So it's very exciting. And it's time. You know, we've been doing wonderful things on our own, which I have loved and he has loved. And we have grown as people and grown as artists. And we think, okay, yeah, it's time for the fans to get to see what we will do when we come back together.
Now, this holiday tour is Jennifer's tour. You're
Yes.
doing your thing.
Yes.
Do you guys take a break while you're out doing that? Are you working long distance, digitally, sending each
Oh,
other
no,
ideas?
we have
Like,
time.
you
We have time.
You have
Yes, no, we have time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about World Vision, because the tour is presented by World Vision.
Yes.
Right? And an amazing organization. Just a little bit about who World Vision is and how you got involved with them.
Sure, it's a fantastic, to me, I said at the end of the video, it's a fantastic alignment of interests to me because it being the holidays, I wanted to partner with a charity organization, with a nonprofit that felt aligned with my values and you know, the places that feel sacred to me. And I reached out to my agent and said that because it is in the spirit of giving. We all think about giving around the holidays. My agent mentioned World Vision, and I checked them out and fell in love with what they do, with their mission, and with the way that they carry it out. It's fantastic. If you don't know a little bit about it, it is an opportunity, especially during this time of year. Now, you can do it year-round, but especially this time of year, to offer unique gifts, to buy gifts that mean something, that make a difference in the world. You can purchase, it could be livestock for a family, it can be a deep water well, and you can do it in honor of your friends and family. And I say, rather than just, you know, trade ugly sweaters that nobody really wants, you know, why not offer something that, you know, that feels honoring of say, your love of your family or of the generosity of your friends, and offer something to the world.
No, it's absolutely, that's just it. It's an amazing organization, the way in which they're allowing us to be able to give back, the lines they open up to facilitate these kinds of different things. Because there are, if you go to worldvision.org, they have a whole,
go to that.
yeah, go to that, worldvision.org,
We're
check
gonna
it
say it
out.
again.
There's a whole catalog of things that you can
Yes.
give that are, in addition to the barnyard, the farm life, which we will get to,
Which is
but there's some other pretty incredible things that you can get.
amazing.
Something as simple as like a soccer ball was one
Soccer
thing.
ball. We don't even think about this,
Yeah.
right? You know, but you can offer that, and for a kid to be able to play, to have the time, it's fantastic. There are medicines you can offer. Medicines. I mean, the most, again, not to get back on the livestock, but it's super fun. I think the most popular gift is a goat. I mean, you know,
Yes, it is one of the top 10 most
Is that on your
Yeah,
the top
yeah,
10 most
goat.
popular?
Yeah.
Yes, and also even specifically today, I will say, especially for everybody out there online too, because you're right here on your computer anyway. Just give a little tap away, and you will be able to double the organization.
Correct.
Yes, 31
gifts.
They
That's
are
what I was looking for
doubling. They are
today.
matching up to $1 million, which is fantastic.
Pretty incredible. Yeah, I saw that. Because the thing is, you were right. You can do this. You can go anytime. You can go to worldvision.org any time of the day, any time of the week, any time of the year.
Yes.
But today, especially, you can go, and 31 gifts is doubling up to $1 million. And they had these great little like pouch, like book bags almost for kids, for them, so they could have like fun and go to school and have a thing to keep their books in. It was just, everything about it was just kind of amazing. It was
It's
kind of like
feel good, right?
exactly.
Everything
It's
about
the
it makes
epitome
you
of what
feel
the
good.
season should be. Yeah,
Absolutely.
is be able to feel good.
Absolutely.
Are you? It sounds like you are. I get the impression you are. You're a big Christmas person. You're a big holiday person.
I love the holidays.
Love the holidays.
I do. I love to get together with family. I mean, if your family is like mine, a lot of times, especially as we start to grow and build our own families,
Yeah.
I should say, especially as we start to grow and AOL build our own families.
Very nice.
Yeah, just
Does
put
that open the-
branding right in there? We don't have it. We're all, you know, we disperse ourselves, and so to be able to have at least one time a year where everybody comes together again, and you talk about your old stories, and you laugh and you make fun of each
Do
other.
you guys have like
You
fun-
punch each other's buttons, and
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what it is. It's about button punching.
Yes.
Do you have like specific favorite little traditions, or like a holiday movie or special that
Oh,
you guys?
now movies. Okay, well,
Let's go down
I
that
do love
road.
the movies. I mean, I love the Christmas Story.
Christmas Story's
Love,
classic.
and I heard it's being redone. Isn't
Is it
being
really?
redone?
That's interesting.
Like in like live form. form. I thought that. I thought I've seen that somewhere. So we should be on the lookout. But the original, the classic, I love.
Yeah.
And we always used to watch The Sound of Music.
Amazing.
I don't know. It's not necessarily a holiday movie, but it always was played at the holidays when I was a little girl.
But it is one of those great, like, gather the family around and watch kind of movies.
For
like,
sure.
It's perfect for that.
For sure.
And how about, I'm going to tell you mine, Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase.
It's a good one.
Oh, every year.
It's a good one. That is a classic. Yes.
We could recite it line for line inside and out.
Yes.
Still makes me laugh. Still amazing.
It is good.
Still absolutely amazing. I wanted to, in a second, we talked briefly about the barn life that you can, the goat, which you can give as one of the gifts. Also alpacas. And I alluded earlier to our viewers at home that there was a surprise coming. I think it'd be great if we could just sort of
special guests.
Experience firsthand. We have some special guests. So we're going to bring out here in a second. I know the goat's name, I believe. We heard
Basil.
Basil.
Yes.
I don't know our alpaca friends' names.
I do. This is Sweetie and Skeeter are the alpaca.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and there's. But can I stand up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I love them.
Did they make
might
it up?
be a little-
Are they here?
Yes, they're here. And these guys,
my
and
goodness.
these guys are the sweetest, and they are the sweetest to each other. Sorry, Basil, honey, I didn't mean to walk in front of you. They don't like that.
Now, we were talking earlier, and I was explaining to some people that we were going to be talking about World Vision and about these types of gifts, and they were at first kind of confused as to why you would want to pay for a family to have a goat.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Let's get into that. Let's come back over here. Are they good to hang out? Are they? Perfect.
As long as they're holding them, otherwise they're free range. Okay, yes. So when you think about the impact that these gifts can have, first of all, they're up to like 50 animals that you can consider as your gift, from $16 all the way to $500. I mean, these guys are examples. Each of these animals are given to an appropriate cultural match, in the sense that the alpaca, for example, would be in Peru, where that's where in the high mountains where they live, and where obviously they can be used for their wool. But what happens, and even with the goats, Africa, a lot in Africa, but these animals are used not only for where the goat is concerned for its milk, but also then its manure can be used for crops. These things are self-sustaining, right? And ultimately for meat, if you had to or wanted to. So they provide an economy for these families. They elevate.
Are they?
Sorry, guy.
Honestly, we had the same problem with Tom Hanks. It's why we don't have carpet. It's why we don't have carpet. You just clean it right up.
Sorry, guy.
And you move on right to the next show. It's fine.
You gotta go.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but so they provide an economy for these families, and many times for the community as a whole. Because then if you get more than one, then what happens? They can have babies, and so it becomes this gift that keeps on giving.
It's pretty incredible, because you're right. And not only that, I think I was reading that on average, the goat will reproduce at least maybe per year another 2 goats, which then they share with their neighbors and things of that nature.
Exactly.
And it's incredible how it goes a lot farther than just like, oh, here's $100. I don't know. Do whatever you have to do.
And it goes further than the goat, because once World Vision is there, once they have been invited into a community because of your gifts, then suddenly they're a part of it, and they're able to then further their outreach within that community in terms of deep water wells, in terms of whatever, different school supplies, whatever it may be within that community, because then they've also gained the trust and the excitement of the community for what they can do there.
It's pretty amazing. I also, and correct me if I'm wrong, but later today, because today is the day of giving.
It's the big day.
It's the big day.
Double up.
I don't know if you guys realize it, right? You got Black Friday, you got your Cyber Monday, and then Tuesday is the day of giving, right? So you're going to be at Bryant Park, is that correct?
We were there this morning.
You were there this morning?
Yes, we were there this morning. But tomorrow, they still have the pop-up there.
They still have
the
pop-up,
pop-up market.
the World Vision
and you can
pop-up
go,
market.
yes, and they have virtual reality to show you some of the things they're doing, which is fantastic. Yes, and they have, obviously, the animals
Well, I was going to say,
yes.
no offense, but are the animals still there?
Yeah, they're the hits. Listen, we know who the stars are here, and they are
so
the
people
hits
can
for
go
sure.
and see, and is it these exact animals are over there?
These ones.
So
These
get
ones.
a load of
Hi.
that. If you guys
Look here.
want to meet Basil and what was
Hi,
the name
friend.
of the alpacas?
Skeeter and Sweetie.
Skeeter and Sweet. That is who named? Did you guys name them? Yeah? Oh, good job. Kudos. So Skeeter, Sweetie, and Basil, they're at Bryant Park for the next 3 days as part of the
and there are
the World
cows,
Vision.
and there are chickens, and there are rabbits, and
I imagine they have adorable names as well.
Yes, the cows. Donkeys, donkeys.
And donkeys. That's like a whole nativity scene over there.
It
isn't
is.
You got everything.
It is. Sheep. It is. Now that's an idea for next year. The real animals, live nativity scene.
Is that
What could
constitute-
possibly go wrong?
Does that constitute a menagerie at that point?
It does at a menagerie. As a matter of fact, I used that word this morning.
Did you really?
We get extra points.
Oh, I was so excited. I never get to use that word.
Yeah, I know. Rarely.
Thank you for this opportunity, honestly.
So menagerie. It is.
We got some mics in the room. We're going to turn it over for audience Q&A. And just a second, where's our first question? I believe it's coming right up on the end over here. Come on down.
Hi.
Hi.
Now, your name and if your question is for Jennifer Skeeter, Sweetie, or for
Basil. Yeah.
Basil. Thank you.
My name is Jawad, but
Jawad.
I didn't think of a question for
Yeah,
them yet.
it's all right. Come back to us.
How rude.
Don't wait.
Season Jawad.
I'll try to ask them at the pop-up.
Yes, ask him at the pop-up.
I was wondering, what areas or what countries do you feel like some of this organization helps most, and do you feel that there are some areas that are still that need help that the group isn't able to get to yet?
Okay, absolutely. Well, first of all, they're in over 100 countries, many of which are among the poorest economies in the world, of course, because that's where the greatest need is. That being said, I do think that there's always going to be need for more, okay? And a lot of that, sometimes we are limited by war and by politics, in the sense that when we look at Syria, for example, we just had a wonderful conversation with Johnny, one of the leaders in the group earlier today, specifically asking about Syria, because there is such a great need there because of the refugee situation. So they do have, World Vision is represented, for example, in Syria, but it is by citizens of Syria, right? We can't have the Westerners there. However, they are all around the periphery and all around, in the countries that are surrounding where these refugee camps are. World Vision is there to offer help. So there are always going to be places there's always sadly going to be a need, sadly. But they are doing the good work, even in those places that are hardest to reach.
Well, I think the idea is to make a dent and do the best you can, right?
As much as you can.
You get as many of those places.
Absolutely.
And you keep growing.
And you keep growing.
Yeah, you keep on growing. That's a great question. Thank you for that. Our next question is, I believe, right here in the front row.
Hi.
I'm Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
I've been a huge fan ever since Something More came out. And,
Thank you.
I'm so happy to hear Sugarland is getting back together too.
I am so glad.
that's
You
very
and many
exciting.
more.
So my question for you is about my favorite Sugarland song called Keep You. And I was wondering if you could go into the recording process behind that song, because it's such an emotional song, and I was
I have to
wondering.
go back into
what it
the
was like.
archives for this. Let me remember. We wrote that song with Bobby Pinson. We had Christian and I had we call it like the magical weekend, where he came out on the road with us, and we wrote several songs together on that weekend. We were just somehow clicking all together, and we got a lot of good songs about All I Want to Do, and to name another. We wrote with him. So there have been so many that we wrote with him, especially off that specific record. I don't remember the recording process, I'm sorry to say. I wish I had some sort of nice little quip, but always the recording process is one of creativity and discovery, and really being able to, when the bridge comes into that and the dynamic, really being able to sell that in a way that served the song and that served the lyric in a way that felt emotional. I remember that being a real victorious point when we landed on it in the way that it ended up on the recording. Super emotional, that one is, yeah.
Is there, I know it's hard to recall that specific moment, but is there a moment that stands out for you in production, in working on new music, that you look forward to? Not just the fact that Sugarland's coming back, but I get to work on this music again, and I love this part of it. Maybe it's playing it out live, maybe it's hearing that bridge for the first time, but is there a moment that you anticipate, that you're excited about?
Well, I will say this just in general, the beautiful part of doing this in any configuration is that my job is to write, record, and perform music, and that is what I love the most. Interestingly enough, though, at least to me, what I do the least of is the recording portion, because it's one finite time that you go in for, at least, for one record. They are so riveted.
I'm so sorry. You're giving an incredible response. I'm listening to you. I'm there. But which one is that? Is that?
I love you. Is it Sweetie?
Just locked
Skeeter.
eyes. Sweetie has locked eyes with me.
Yeah, no.
And
you know what? Bow your head, because it's about to gets into a dominance thing. Hi. Yeah.
You were saying, I'm so sorry.
No, it's
Jennifer,
okay. No, it's okay. So I look forward to that every time because it's the recording process, because it's what I get to do the least. I get the most. What I get to do the most of is the performing, and then I would say next is the writing, and then recording though is such a short amount of actually what we get to
Some
do.
might say it is the holiday season equivalent to that part of the process.
I
for
would
you as-
say that it is the holiday season.
See?
equipment.
I earned back my journalistic integrity when I
did.
lost it from laughing at the alpaca, I believe.
Yeah, but
I think
Menagerie bought you a lot,
it
babe.
did give me some credit, right? It did give me that a little bit. I believe we have time for one more question. We're going to take one more. It's right here.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Randy. Nice to meet you. So since you're getting back together with Sugarland and you're working with all this work, is there like inspiration for a new song based upon the work that you've recently done? And would we be able to see these lovely animals in the album cover?
Well, now, I'm going to start with the last question first. You know, I haven't considered it, but I'm sure these guys would work me a deal if we wanted to do it.
Look into
I
Sweetie's
mean,
eyes,
so
and that
precious.
answer will be
Look
clear to
into
you. I'm
my
telling you
eyes,
right
yes.
now.
Would you like to be on the album cover? I would love that. In terms of inspirations behind, you know, we are just now in the writing process, but what we have always done, both jointly and severally, is you take from your own experience and you write what you know. And even if it's not your own story, you know, I've written stories that are for narrative's sake that aren't my story, but you can't help but write yourself and your truth into them, even if it's a character that you're playing. So we'll continue to do that. And I think one of the things that Sugarland does well that I love and look forward to, and that we've already done in the stuff that I know that we've already written, is there's always a positive message. And so you'll get to hear a lot of that too. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Randy. I could do this all day.
I could too.
I
I'm
know,
having a
but
blast.
regrettably, we got to wrap things up and get moving on. Real quick, I'm just going to run down the list here. Of course, worldvision.org.
Worldvision.org.
Well, are you getting a clear shot over the alpaca? Is this clear? Are we good? Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Okay, good.
So worldvision.org, that's where the catalog is. You can go
Yes,
right
and
now.
especially today,
Especially
if
today.
you're on your computer right now, just take a little trip right on over because it's double the fun.
It's the day of giving, and 31 gifts is going to help double that fun.
Yes.
Or you could go call toll free. I got the number here, 855-WV-GIFTS. You can check that out. You're going to be at Bryant Park. The pop-up for World Vision's there for a couple more days with the animals.
Yes, and you can feel also safe too because these guys have the experience. They've been around since the 1950s, okay? So they've proven themselves and they've grown in that time to become, I mean, for example, where water is concerned, clean water is concerned. 1,000 kids a day die from unclean water, from unfit water, right? And so these guys are the largest provider of potable, clean water in the world.
Yeah,
the largest organization for
I gotta say,
developing countries.
if for
It's amazing.
Day of Giving, go to worldvision.org. But if
I
for
can
no
talk
other
about
reason,
it. I'm like,
no,
let me
but here's the
tell
thing.
you something
Here's
else
the thing,
about
though.
it.
What I was
Go to
gonna say-
worldvision.org. Do it.
And when you go there, even just to some of the amazing things this organization's already achieved,
Yes.
you get inspired. You want to be a part of it.
You do, and you
worth
can
going.
be a part of
Yeah.
it, and that's the fun of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got all that stuff.
Yes.
Got your tour coming
Up, starting tomorrow. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Keep an eye out for Sugarland information.
Keep an eye out. New
Facebook,
stuff
is
coming.
that the
Get
best place to
online.
go?
Yes, get
Facebook?
online. Yeah, you can
okay.
sign up for our email
mail,
list and get things. Obviously, follow us on the socials. You know how it is.
Did I miss
Okay,
anything,
let's do
Jennifer?
it.
Is that everything that's going on
Babe,
right
I
now?
think we did it.
I think we did it all.
I think
Can I
we
get a
did it
high five
today.
Up top.
We can.
Bam. Guys, one more time, make some noise for Jennifer Nettles,
Thank
please.
you so
Come
much.
on.
And Basil, and Skeeter, and Sweetie.